How's it going, guys? Welcome. You ever get to a place in life where you just are asking yourself, how can I have better connection with people? Or what can I do when I feel left out? Or maybe you're just someone who has been through some challenges with someone that you love in your family or with relationships, boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, and you're wondering, how do I get close again to that person? Really, here's the answer. Really, the answer is to act in love, is really to love and to take action in the area of love. What I mean by that is that sometimes I think that we complicate things so much and we're asking ourselves so many questions and wondering what to do next. And a lot of times, the reason why we're struggling with kind of what to do in terms of reconciling or having better friendships or relationships is because we're really being selfish. We're really thinking of ourselves more than the other person. And I'm not talking about not acknowledging if there's pain or if there's something that the other person has done to hurt you. There's no doubt you have to resolve those things. But assuming that that already has taken place and now you have sort of a kind of a clean slate per se, really the next step is to act radically, to love deeply, and to take steps of love towards that person. And really, a lot of times people ask, like, what does that mean? Like, what should I do? Really, love is the guide that you and I have to always listen to. I would say, what does love say? What would love do in this situation? If someone has hurt you, what would love do to restore that relationship? And that really is a challenging question because love is not the easiest thing to do. That's why I think we sometimes have obstacles, or we want kind of a different approach, or we want someone's advice, or we call our friends, or we ignore the whole situation because we just don't want to love. Because as we know from Scripture, love is patient. And so we don't want to be patient. So we don't love. It says in the Bible that love is kind. We don't want to be kind because we've been hurt. Someone's been unkind to us. And so we'd rather not be kind to them. And so we don't love. Love is patient. Love is kind. Love does not keep a record of wrongs. We're talking about very challenging stuff. And so that's why it's easier to go online and vent to your friends and post on Facebook, how someone has hurt you and have all of these things that really all they do is mask the problem. They really, a lot of times, even make the problem worse. But what really gives us a sense of peace in our hearts is to really listen to love. And then not just to listen, but to, again, take radical action towards love and be led by love. And now if love leads you to just sort of think happy thoughts, let me just burst your bubble. That's not love. I mean, I think that it starts with a feeling in your heart, but a lot of times, or I would say, but immediately after that, you have to then take action and actually text that person, actually bring that person some food, or actually give that person a second chance and let them know. Love, as many people say, is a verb. And I think that in our culture today, we are so distracted by so many things that the last thing we want to do is to love people. We may act nice, we may think we're kind, we may think we're loving, we may have a maybe more chill personality, or on the opposite, we might be very strong and very aggressive. None of that matters. What really matters is that you and I be obedient to love, that we would be led by love to do the sacrificial. And really, let me put it this way. It's so fun to love people. It gives you such a deep sense of satisfaction. Because guess what? Everyone needs love. And so the minute that you and I take that step towards them, towards somebody else that is even more empty perhaps than we are, their hearts get filled. And then they begin to get kind of like conviction, or they begin to kind of like, think about things and reflect and say, wow, maybe I need to do the same thing. So I just want to encourage you, Ghost Nation. Maybe you are struggling with someone. Love them. And don't ask yourself, well, what should I do? Let love lead you. And let it lead you towards something very simple but practical. So I want you to think about this. In the next month or so the next, let's say, 4 weeks, let's even go as far as all the way to September 1st. Let's call this the Love To Revolution. In other words, who are the two people that you need to love, that you need to show love to in practical but very real ways? Who are the two people that you have in your heart that are giving you, or that you have a love for, that God has given you a love for? Who are those two people? Maybe it's someone really close to you, your son, your daughter, your neighbor. Maybe it's your husband, your wife, someone that you love at work, someone at church, someone in your work, someone in business. Love those two people. And don't get really fancy, like, what does that mean? Simply act. Maybe ask them what communicates love to you. Maybe go through the 5 languages of love, acts of service, words of affirmation, and all the rest. Think about, what does love look like? And then act accordingly. And even if you don't get it right the first time, try again, and try again, and try again, and keep trying until you have peace in your heart, until you feel like love has actually come out of you towards that person. And I know that it's not always as easy as it may sound. There are many complications to love, many things that get in the way of love. I understand there's hurt and pain and abuse and neglect, so many things. So I'm not ignoring any of those things. If you're dealing with those things, then that's the place to start. But like, as I said earlier, once you have that clear path, and once you're maybe back to neutral, then I would say act radically towards love. Be a person of love this summer. Join the Love To Revolution. Love two people this summer. And maybe even write a note or an email or text a friend and say, you know what, these are my two people that I feel like God has put in my heart that I need to love, that I need to give to, that I need to be sacrificial and really let my heart grow. And then watch what happens. Let me know what happens. I can't wait to maybe hear some of the comments of what God can do when you and I love somebody else deeply from the heart in a very honest and yet simple way. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you next time.